Okay, just got finished disking and dragging. We got about 1.5 acre plots ready to be drilled. We're about to load up our drill with milo. Had a pretty good rain come in. It's a little bit wet in some places, so we are not going to use the big tractor. We're going to use our 50 horse Kubota to pull the drill today, which it's plenty enough tractor. You could probably, like I said in my last video, you could probably pull this drill with a 30 horse, probably even totally full. Anyway, for something I forgot to touch on last time, we cut the camera anyway, and I forgot to talk about it, but this chain right here that runs a fertilizer box, this one, where I talked about dry fertilizer being in the back. We don't run fertilizer, but that's how you calibrate how much fertilizer you want to drop while you're seeding. We don't run fertilizer through our drill because it's corrosive, and I want to not be corrosive on a piece of equipment like this. Anyway, we're going to load it up. Something else we may not have said last time, when the hydraulics come down, I'll be showing this here in a minute. Your discs drop in. Most of you probably know this, but anyway, your discs drop in. These packer wheels come down and run straight behind, which covers your furrow up. And it's empty right now. We're about to put some more milo in it. And this particular drill, on the front bend, this is your chart. Basically just go off your chart and make sure you know how your gears are run, whether it's half speed, regular speed, or double speed. In this particular drill, those chains are inside here. But anyway, we got ours set straight from the factory. I've never changed it. Anyway, we go off the chart. Today we're going to be drilling some milo in, and next video will probably be Tony doing a little drilling out there in that duck pond. Alright folks, got Tony over here making his first pass. This particular strip is in one of our 20-acre ponds. I probably have the beginnings of, I don't know, 10 acres disked in here. But anyway, this little area right here is what we call the rectangle. As you see Tony down there, he's getting ready. He's coming back for his pass, coming towards me. We call this the rectangle right in here. I mapped it out. It's not quite 2 acres, and we're planting some more milo in here. We'll come in probably Saturday. It's going to rain tonight, so we'll come in probably Saturday and spread our fertilizer. I just spread it with the four-wheeler because it's plastic and it's cheap. I just don't want my seed drill to get corroded. So anyway, like I said, there's Tony. He's pulling it with no problem whatsoever. 50 horse hydrostatic Kubota tractor, John Deere 8350, double disc opener with packer wheels, and it pulls it like a dream. Just, like I said in my other video, you got to have hydraulics on the back of your tractor to make this particular machine operate correctly. So anyway, I'm gonna get one more pass as he passes. We got a rain coming tonight, so we pray the Lord will bless this seed and bring it on up. Alright, Tony just about filled up the seed drill. Anyway, I don't know if we're going to use this full 50 pounds. Today we plan on planting about 20 pounds per acre. For harvest, you don't want but about 10 pounds per acre, even in our soil. But if you see right here, I don't know if it makes any difference, but they have genetically altered milo or grain sorghum or maize, whatever part of the country you're from. We call it milo here, but I guess the real name is grain sorghum. What they've done is, on your regular, seed milo that you would use for harvest, it's supposed to be bitter to your average bird. This is actually supposed to be a wild bird food. So we're going to do kind of a test this year and see, based on some of the milo we're growing to harvest, and this milo here is supposed to be two different. I guess they've made it they've genetically altered it anyway to where blackbirds aren't supposed to tear up your crop and come in there by the millions and just eat it all up like they do our rice. But anyway, we're going to try that, so you might want to, you know, think about that before you go and buy a whole bunch of seed and go to a lot of trouble and put something in the ground if you're planning for, doesn't matter whether it's quail, whether it's doves, ducks, you know, I would, if you're going to do a food plot just for wildlife, I would recommend getting something that is genetically altered for, or actually not genetically altered, and it's good for game birds. Anyway, so that's just something to think about here. One thing I failed to mention a while ago, basically, reason why we're over planting, we'd be planting 8 to 10 pounds an acre if we were trying to harvest, but we would also be hiring the crop duster to spray a post-emerge, or maybe even us spray it ourselves, plus we'd be fertilizing it a lot. I'm not going to use very much fertilizer with a food plot, and the fact that we overplant, the plant itself will come on up quickly and shade out most of your weeds and grasses, so hopefully we won't have to go to the trouble or the expense of spraying or using some type of post-emerge herbicide. Alright folks, now we're going into what we call pond number 3. It is actually the upper end of a timber hole that we have got levees all the way around, and we just have an area of it that we keep kind of as a field, just to give them some food. And like I was saying, something I didn't think about, if you have a front end loader on your tractor, I guess you could just extend your hoses and run them all the way to the front of the tractor and disconnect part of your front end loader, and you would probably be successful at running a seed drill such as this one. But anyway, another thing, I don't know if you can see, this is gumbo mud. And gumbo is big baseball-sized clods, and the hardest problem with this type of soil is simply just getting the seed bed correct, and then having the seed bed where it's good and firm and pulverized, you know, and loosened up enough, but to have good soil to seed contact. That's one of the biggest issues we have with this type of soil. So we have to go over it, you know, of course, if we farm for a living, I guess we could just keep disking it and wait for a lot of rain, but we have methods, and we got us a new drag. We picked it up today, and I'll be showing that soon. We used to drag a double cross tie. Anyway, so the buckshot or gumbo mud, whichever one you want to call it, is definitely a challenge in itself. Anyway, well, we're going to get back to drilling. All right, folks, pretty much done with planting for now. We did plant all 50 acres, so I mean all 50 pounds, I'm sorry. So it was a little over 2 acres. So we figured about 20 something pounds per acre, so we obviously have more than 2 acres for milo this year. Reason why, I don't know if I touched on this earlier, the reason why we use this tractor versus that tractor, this is about 5,000 pounds. That's about 12,000